David. So I'm just curious, when you came off in the fifth, it looked like you grimaced a little bit. Is everything okay? Like, are you feeling okay?
Yeah, no, like I said, it's just a little soreness. I mean, pitchers get sore after they throw. So, like I said, we're managing the workload and taking care of that soreness, but nothing to worry about.
Thank you so much.
Next question comes from Mike Puma.
David, just where was the soreness you kind of came off the mound?
Just typical stuff in the back of the shoulder.
Are you concerned at all about it?
No, not at all.
And also, is your goal at here to get up to 6-7 innings by the end of the season? Do you think you could get to that point?
Yeah, 100%. My goal is to go as deep in the game as I can and give the team the best chance to win. So obviously, yeah, my goal is to be 6, 7, however many innings I can go, and how many I can give the team is what I want to give. I don't want to just throw 5 and then come out, but yeah, I want to get to that point.
Next question comes from Justin Toscano.
Hey, David, you're 4 turns through now. What have you learned over over that time?
I mean, for me, the biggest thing is just getting used to working with the catchers. We've had really good communication and feel really good with them back there. And then just preparing for lineups and seeing where my strengths play against different hitters, and just getting used to the level up here. And like I said, contributing in every way that I can and giving the team what I have.
Thank you.
Next question comes from Tim Britton.
Hey, David, you seem pretty level-headed about it all, but are you happy with what you've been able to do in your first 4 starts here?
Yeah, I am. I feel like I'm throwing the ball well, and it feels good coming out. Like I said, with the catchers, I feel like we've been on the same pace, and it's been a pleasure to work with both Nido and Buffalo. So yeah.
Thanks.
David, thank you for your time this afternoon.
Thanks, guys.
Louis, your first question today comes from Steve Gelbs.
Hey, Louis, do you have an update on Jeff?
Yes, I just saw Jeff. As soon as we did the line at clubhouse and celebrated a little bit for the win. Went to see him, ran into him. He's coming out of the training room. So X-ray were negative. He's got a bone contusion in his knee. He's day to day right now.
X-rays. It was on his left knee. Is that what it was? His left knee.
Left knee. Yeah, left knee going out there. After that incredible play he made with 2 outs, and he just felt uncomfortable getting up, and we played it safe. Joe Golden did a tremendous job just keeping him calm there and waiting to cart him out of there, but we're able to do X-ray, and results came back. They're negative, and it's a bone contusion. He's day to day.
Obviously, he made a pretty significant impact with the wall there. Is there any worry about anything else that he potentially is dealing with, or was it strictly that left knee?
No, only that left knee is strictly there. I mean, as you guys saw, he got up by himself basically there, and we tried to walk is when he felt a little bit of a discomfort there or something, and Joe said let's play it safe, and it was the right thing to do, just to do that, and it's a good thing that came back negative. Going to doing the X-ray with him, and calling it bone contusion in his left knee, and I just saw him. He's very encouraged about getting the result from the X-ray.
As for the rest of the game, you're someone who's been around Nido for a while. You've managed him in the minors. What type of work have you seen him put in? What type of at-bats have you seen in the limited playing time that has allowed him to get to the point where he could have a day like today?
He's been better, Steve, this season. I know he worked in the off season a lot in his with his approach. And he's been better with his approach. He's been walking more. He's been, able to run into pitches like that because that's what's going to happen as he can lay off some others. Battling the at bats, and one's a slider and the other one was a changeup, and 6 RBI. It's a big day for him, and it's paying off. All that hard work that he's done at the plate, offensively talking, it's paying off.
Next question comes from Tony DeComo.
Hey, Louis, does Mcneil still need an MRI, or is there any fear of ligament damage, anything like that?
We did an MRI already, and he came back negative as well. Nothing in there. It's just bone contusion and it's left knee. So it's day-to-day status for him. We have to reevaluate him tomorrow.
Gotcha. So there's no fear that he could go on the injured list. This is strictly, really, truly a day-to-day thing.
Not as of right now. The results that we got. It's day-to-day. We're evaluating him tomorrow to see what he's able to do.
Gotcha. And also, just one more off the game. Peterson was only at 74 pitches. Was there any thought of having him in a, I think it was a 7-1 game at that point, having him face the middle of the lineup a third time?
Yeah, he came out of the fifth, and he a little bit of a shoulder fatigue there, and a little bit of that common soreness that you get when you're having some stress innings out there, and we played it safe. Him and Hef spoke a little bit. His bill was a little down on that 5th inning, but they finished actually, in the lower 90s, so he kind of got back up there. But, it's just playing it safe. We still had a lot of games to go. This kid is throwing the ball well. So, nothing serious. We played it safe with him. We just went for to remove him out of the game.
Thank you.
Next question comes from Justin Toscano.
Hey, Louis. Jeff looked like he couldn't put much weight on it. He's carted off. In that moment, are you thinking that maybe it's worse than a bone contusion?
Well, at the moment I was, obviously, yeah, you pray immediately, God, this is, hope this is nothing major in him. And, Jeff's always going to play hard. He's going to, do things like this. Just making that diving play the other day with the bumpy landing, and he's going to do things like that. And he went all out there to make that catch and, to save that first inning from being a bigger one, and, riding to the wall at full speed. So when I got out there and the trainer, Joe Golia, got out there, we were a little concerned, just how he was talking to us. But, thank God this is the results are back, and, there's nothing in there significant. And so, it's just a bone contusion, day to day, and we'll reevaluate him tomorrow just to see what he can do.
And with Peterson in that first inning, that big spot against Soto with the bases loaded, you've used the word poise about him before. What else enables him to really kind of lock in those situations?
Well, it's got the repertoire behind that, and but it's that, Justin. It's just poise. He's the same guy, and he's always competing at the same level, whether there's nobody on or that base is loaded. I think it's the third time that he's run into a bases loaded, no out, and it's been today against Soto. It's a guy that's so hot swinging the bat against and he goes after him. So it's this kid is that's the way he does things, and he's been showing it repeatedly. I think he had a bases loaded versus JD Martinez earlier in the year. Then he had another one against Ronald Acuna, and today he has one against Juan Soto, and it strikes him out. So this kid maintains his poise, and he's in that level always, and I think that's why he can execute clutch pitches in situations like that.
Thank you.
Next question comes from Dave Lennon.
Hey, Louis, I know Jeff is a day, and who knows with the way he looked, maybe he might need a day or two to feel a little bit better. Would your inclination be to just put JD back out there, or how would you kind of treat that?
I don't know yet, David. We'll have to see. JD's playing really well at third base. Mm-hmm. We have options to go to the outfield right now. You guys someone in going to left, and the play that Billy made at center, you know, he's thrown the back really good today for us as well. So, you know, we have the options of the outfielders to have him out there. We'll evaluate Mac to see how he is tomorrow. I mean, hopefully he can play tomorrow. He can start for us.
Okay.
Next question comes from Joel Sherman.
Luis, I hope you can hear me. There's a plane going overhead. Did you imagine when you were in spring training that your depth was going to be this good? And what do you think in this kind of weird season depth means?
Joel, sorry, but depth in which way? Like, you mean overall pitching?
Well, you've lost some position players, and the guys who've gone in have played. Your bullpen seems to be getting longer as we go along here. I wonder if you felt this was the kind of team you had during the 3 weeks of spring training 2-0. What do you think it means for, you know, a sprint of a season?
Oh, okay, yeah. So like general depth, yeah, we always spoke about the roster, about the depth we have, you know, whether it was in the bullpen, whether it was a starter. I mean, we were talking in the first spring training about our 6 starters, and, you know, and Peterson wasn't even in, you know, wasn't even in the talks of those 6 that we had in that first spring training. So he's part of that depth, and there's more guys, you know, that can also be included in that depth as starters. So we had guys that, you know, that stepped up to the situation. You know, you guys saw Selman started the game yesterday. Now Peterson, that was included to the rotation after we started the season when Stroman wasn't able to make the start. So we do have that depth. You know, guys like Roby, you know, gets hurt. It's on the IL, and we have Louis Guillorme. He's been able to respond immediately, and, you know, so there's that. You know, Brody's done a good job just creating that depth. So if something like this would happen, we'll have somebody immediate that can come in and help us compete and win games. So now in the season like this, you know, with the pool, I think we're in that same position. We have some depth, and for any casualty that may happen. So you know, we feel comfortable that, you know, some guys can come in and do the job and keep us competing throughout this season.
Thank you, Luis.
Next question comes from Tim Britton.
Hey, Louis, how surprised were you by the warnings issued in that 4th inning there?
Well, you know, they did surprise me because, and you know, going back to a season like this, and you know, there's rules out there about how strict it could be, you know, to doing anything intentional like that or trying to start anything. We're not looking for anything like that. I mean, it's you know, the warnings came after the hit by pitch to Soto, he hit its 4-homer after against us in the series. After that AB, you know, this guy's swinging the bat really well against us. I mean, guys are trying to mix, you know, where they're going to locate against this guy. I mean, they're going to expand away, they're going to expand down, they're going to expand in. I mean, they're trying to do different things against him, and by any means, it was intentional to hit him. You know, we're trying to get him out, and, you know, that was my talk with Chad, with the umpire. You know, from his perspective, is that, you know, Soto's been, you know, hitting really good against that. He thought it was intentional. That's why the warnings are there. You know, but anyways, it's part of the game. It's a judgment by the umpires. They've been in this series, so you know, you understand from their part that they see that how Soto's swinging, and may see that, but nothing that we're trying to start. We're doing, especially in a season like this. You know, we're just happy to be playing baseball and competing against each other, and bringing the game of baseballs to the fans and to ourselves.
How do you think he handled himself after that point, the last couple innings for him?
Good. I mean, he did really good. I mean, this kid's got great poise. You know, and he was able to maintain the pitching plan, keep things moving. It didn't affect him or anything. I mean, this kid doesn't show any emotions out there, other than, you know, getting fired up, probably because he wants to compete and he wants to stay in the game. You know, which is what he wanted when we removed him out of there. But nothing that you can see that really affects him emotionally.
Thanks.
Next question comes from Mike Huma.
Louis, I know you were unsure about Cano before the game. Is he making the trip with you guys to Philly?
Yeah, we're thinking of him making the trip there. That's one of the talks that I want to have right now. As you guys know, you can get to the field, we didn't do anything pregame with the rain, but everything's going well. That's part of the talks that we got to do just to see if it's happening tomorrow, which is the day that is eligible to come back out of the IL. We still have got to meet and talk to the trainers, the performance staff that work with his rehab to get him back from the IL.
And also, how comfortable have you gotten with Hughes in that kind of 2-inning role?
He's done such a great job. He goes and attacks the zone. He's got a turbo sinker, mixed it with the slider. He's mixing change-ups in there. He's gotten a bunch of comebackers. He keeps getting comebackers. It keeps knocking them down, whether it's using his chest or his glove, but he's making the plays too. So he's a competitor. So he fits really well to our bullpen. He's doing a great job giving 2 innings like that. With good defense behind him. It's really great to have him in our bullpen.
Thank you very much for your time this afternoon, Luis.
See you guys. Have a good one.
Tomas, congratulations. Your first question comes from Steve Gelbs.
Hey, Tomas, just on an emotional level, a satisfaction level, as a guy who is not someone who plays every day, to get the start and have that type of game, just personally, what does that feel like?
It felt really good. Anytime I get the chance to play, I just want to help the team win and do the best I can do out there. Especially after the way the game started, I had a little pressure on myself, so I'm glad I was able to pick the team up and get them back for that era at the beginning.
Louis talked about how much better he thinks your at-bats are in general so far this season. Where do you think you are offensively now compared to where you were a year ago?
I think I'm a lot better. I think my confidence is much better. My play discipline has definitely gotten much better. I worked really hard this offseason down in Florida, kind of revamped my whole swing, and I had to clean up a lot of things that obviously weren't working last year, and the goal is to keep improving every day. So the confidence is there now. Try to have good at bats, and when I get a good pitch to hit, try to drive the ball.
Next question comes from Sarah Valenzuela.
Hey, Tomas. I was just wondering, is there anything that anyone has said to you over the last, or before today's game, or yesterday's game, just to sort of motivate you, just against that offensive zone and that kind of state of mind?
No, not really. I prepared myself, like I said, in the off season. I worked really hard, and specifically for this reason, I want to be prepared when I go out there to play whenever I get the chance. And prepare yourself. You work hard. I'm already motivated when I go out there and play. So you take the mental aspect out of the game, and you go out there and let your abilities play. I know I'm a good hitter, and I had to clean some things up in the off season. And like I said, I knew I needed to work on a lot of things, so I worked hard, and I think so far it's paying off. And there's still work to be done. So just on a daily basis, I keep working, and that way when I go out there and play, I'm prepared. And I think that takes care of the majority of it.
Does it bother you at all that you had such a career moment and that there were no fans in the stands?
It's very different when the crowd's not there. It's not the same. Bumps you out a little bit that they're not here, but at the same time, you have to get it done regardless, whether there's fans or not. So, yeah, I'd say it would have been a little more exciting, but it still felt good to do what I did and be able to help the team get a win.
Thank you.
Next question comes from Justin Toscano.
Hey, Tomas. As you're looking to improve offensively, is it to carry those things over when you're not playing every day and you might not know when your next start will come?
I try to prepare every day, like if I was going to be in the lineup, whether I am or not. You never know what can happen, so I try to take it each day at a time. And if I'm not playing, I go to the cage and I work on different things that I felt my last game that I might have not been clean in my approach or my swing. And, I just, whenever I get a chance to play, I just want to be prepared to be able to go out there and execute.
And what were those things that you felt like you cleaned up from your last start for today?
I looked at some video of how they pitched at me when we were at the third place, and I just wanted to see if there were any patterns and I was chasing. So when I got to a certain count, I was more confident in what I was looking for, and it paid off.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next question comes from Tony DeComo.
Hey, Tomas. When you just take a step back now and look at the box score today's game and see 2 home runs, grand slam, 6 RBI, what is your reaction to that?
To be honest, it's hard work pays off. I did work really hard this offseason, and it just feels good to be able to help the team win. It's not about myself. At the end of the day, no matter what I do, if I don't help the team win, that stings a little more than if I do good and we lose. So I'm very happy we were able to get that W and had good at bats and help the team win.
Also, Peterson was saying in his last inning, his shoulder was still a little bit sore. Velocity was a little bit down. What did you see from him at the end of the half?
I didn't notice anything different, to be honest. I just try to work with what I thought was working that inning, and I thought the slider was working very well against Eaton there, and he was able to get that strikeout.
Thank you.
Next question comes from Roger Rubin.
Hey there, Tomas. You've had a couple of games where, you had 3 RBI. We take a look at this 2 home runs. We take a look at it and we say 6 RBI. Before we would describe it as, your best game at the major league level, how would you describe it?
I would agree with that. So far, definitely want to say one of the best games that I overall. But just got to keep building off that, the confidence, and try to, maintain that momentum until the next time I get to play. And that way I can put up good at-bats and battle and give a chance for the team to score runs or win, whatever the situation comes.
Thank you.
Next question comes from Ed Coleman.
Hey, Tomas. I think this is the second time you've got Peterson. What do you see from him that makes him or helps him to pitch the way that he has thus far?
I think his command of his secondary pitches it's key for him. It can be thrown in any count. His fastball command is also really good. So he just has a lot of weapons that we can go to in different counts, which makes him very successful in the mound. And it's fun to be back there just because you can play around with different stuff and different situations. You can go to different pitches, and it makes it fun to work with a guy like that who commands all his pitches and makes it a lot easier for me.
And also, after you reworked your swing, do you find yourself watching more video to pick up certain things or tendencies?
You try. Now with not being able to watch video, especially during the game, it's a little more complicated. But, after the game, you try to go home and kind of go over your at-bats and what, my thought process was at the moment and what I thought I could have done better. And just I try to reevaluate that every night and go from there.
Thank you.
Next question comes from Jerry Beach.
Hey, Tomas, what was a more enjoyable moment? The walk-off against Detroit last year in front of a full house, or the grand slam to give you a 2-homer game and for the game against a big division rival?
I want to say today was probably top for me. The walk-off was awesome, but never really had 2 home runs in a game, especially a grand slam. So I think today was a little more special.
Thank you for your time, Tomas.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
Dom, your first question this afternoon comes from Steve Gelbs.
Hey, Dom. What have you been happiest with your at-bats so far this season, and especially over the last 2 games?
Just being able to get out there and get consistent ABs is obviously a thing that I'm happy about, and to be able to produce in those ABs, obviously, those are things that I work really hard to do. I work extremely hard, during the off season, during both spring trainings, and just to see all my hard work kind of pay off. It's definitely one of the couple things I'm most happy about.
You say just getting to play every day, the consistency is obviously something you're happy about. How does an at-bat change for you? How does your comfort level change when you are getting this consistent playing time, even though you did seem to find a way to be effective with the at-bats being less regular?
I think, just, the preparation and really just trying to prepare helped me out a lot. And I think for me, Steve, can you ask the question again? I'm sorry. I just drew a blank.
Yeah, no, I was just saying, you talk about the consistent playing time and how it's changed things a little for you. What is different at plate when you are playing every day versus when you're getting intermittent playing time?
Yeah, I think just seeing more pitching is definitely just going to help your, strike zone and just help your approach for the most part. And the more pitches I get to see, I get to just see more movement on those, heaters, and just see, really good breaking balls and stuff like that. And I think, like I said, the more ABs you get, you kind of could, lay off some tough pitches and put yourself in good counts. So I think that's the biggest thing, is trying to get in good counts. And then when you do get in those good counts, not try to do too much, because, sometimes, you get in those good counts and take a big swing and you just roll over a pitch. So I think just trying to stay relaxed and not do too much. And I think that's what's, really helped me with my approach and to be able to put the barrel on the ball.
And as a guy, Dom, who's really had to grind it out here over the last couple of years and try and perform in limited time at moments, when you see guys like Guillorme getting an opportunity and running it with it the way that he has, and you see Nido get an opportunity and have the game that he has, does it hit you a little differently? Does it feel like something that you've gone through in the past?
Yeah, I mean, it makes me extremely happy for those guys, because, like you said, that's something that I've gone through, and I talk to those guys, plenty, and that's just one thing, I like to do with guys who are in similar situations like me, is trying to just make sure mentally, they're having fun, making sure they're mentally positive and not really, falling, down the wrong track, because as you guys can see, the game happens fast, and, we're down a couple guys, and, those guys need to step up, and they did. And it just goes to show their preparation and how much, they work, even though they're not playing and everybody can't see them behind the scenes. But it just, gives them a lot of credit, because, we work our butts off, and sometimes everybody can't see it. So for them to finally get in there and do that, it's definitely exciting, and I'm super stoked for them.
Next question comes from Tony Nicomo.
Hey, Dom, what was just your reaction when you saw Mcneil go against the wall there?
I mean, he's a fearless competitor. Obviously, you don't want to see a guy go down. I think it's like a bone bruise, so it's not too bad. But I love it. I mean, I just love how hard he plays, and it just makes us want to play harder. And it's that type of energy that he brings, it's kind of contagious, and makes us just want to play harder for each other. And obviously, it's like steady went down, but it just goes to show, how hard we go out there and play and how fearless he is.
Did you have a chance to see him or talk to him during the game or after the game?
I haven't seen him yet, no.
Thank you.
Next question comes from Mike Puma.
Just how much better do you feel about this lineup now than maybe you did a few days ago, the way you guys have been putting up runs?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, probably a couple of days ago, we're right on the brink of breaking out, and we're right on the brink of like going on a run that we know this team can go on, and we just got to constantly, just stay positive and play for each other, and we know that we keep putting pressure on these pitchers, and eventually we're going to break through. So I saw that as a positive, even though we weren't scoring as many runs as we should have been, and I know some people didn't, but the fact that us as a team, we knew that we were right there, and we just want to keep pressing the line and keep pressuring teams. And I feel like if we keep doing that, we're going to score a ton of runs. So.
Next question comes from Tim Britton.
Hey, Dom, the last couple of days, you guys haven't been able to get out on the field pregame because of the weather. I'm wondering how different the pregame routine is this year when you're inside and trying to stay distance while still trying to get all your work in.
Yeah, it's a little different. Obviously, we love going out there and going out during beautiful days to take batting practice and just to see the ball fly, take ground balls. So it's definitely a little bit different when you can go out on the field. But some of these days are definitely good. We played a long stretch, I think 13 in a row before a day off, and then we have another long stretch here. So to have these couple show and goes, to rest the body, rest the legs, and just the mind a little bit, I think was really good for the team. And we put up some runs, so I think we might have a couple more show and goes coming up. But we just like to keep everything loose, and the fact that we are inside and, we are distance, but we still try to, have fun with it and make the most out of it.
Thanks.
Dom, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
This concludes the Mets post-game Zoom room.